Today I'll be reading Perfect Timing by Patsy B. Trollinger, or how do you say it in Jerome Ladue, I think. Isaac walked quickly through the streets of Lexington, carrying a large basket as if it weighed nothing at all. He was short for a boy of 12, but strong. His arms had grown used to the heavy work he did for his mother's laundry business, carrying water, setting up bathtubs, delivering finished loads of laundry. His grandparents had been slaves, and now Isaac was free, but Kentucky had very few schools for black students. He spent every day working on his mother, and on spring day in 1873, Isaac made a delivery to Owings' house at perfect time. Mr. Owings owned a stable of racehorses, and he needed to hire some new jockeys. The strong boy behind the laundry basket was just the right size for riding. Mr. Owings asked a question. Would Isaac like to learn how to ride a thoroughbred? Without successful ride, Isaac learned in a place in jockey school. He wouldn't sit at a desk with a book, though. In this school, every classroom was a stable, and every lesson was a horse. It was a place where Isaac could strengthen his muscles and his mind. One man was his teacher, boss, and friend, Ellie Jordan, the trainer. Ellie's job was to teach thoroughbreds and jockeys how to win races inside the barn. Ellie explained how to feed and groom the horses outside on the practice track, and he used one word more than any other: pace. Isaac soon figured out that pace was a mixture of speed, strategy, and time. A jockey with perfect pace, he knew when to let the horse run full tilt down the track and when to save energy for the final burst of the speed. Ellie's lesson about pace were difficult. Isaac had to memorize how fast every horse could run and notice things that made each horse unique. The Big Bay Stallion hit top speed when he was leading other horses. The Brown Filly was just the opposite. She liked to chase the other horses and pass them. If Isaac raced on the bay, he would set a fast pace all the way. On the filly, he might start slow, then finish with the final burst of speed. Some of Isaac's best lessons came at coffee time, when the older jockey sat on bales of hay, swapping stories. One man described a racetrack with a dangerous low spot at the quarter-mile mark. Another man bragged about arguing a lazy horse to victory in a rainstorm. During 2 years of jockey school, Isaac listened and remembered. Finally, he was ready to race. On the morning of his first race, Isaac carefully buttoned the bright yellow shirt Ellie bought to him. The silk racing shirt and matching cap announced that Isaac was a real jockey. At the starting line, he became part of a patchwork of colors, each representing a different stable. Isaac focused on one small piece of red, the starter's flag. I only have 1 minute. By the time he wore the yellow silks again, Isaac had learned how to concentrate. There was a noise all around him, but Isaac had ears only for the strong, steady breathing of his horse. From the moment the race began and the seconds ticked clearly in his head, 58, and he told himself at the half mark, 114 as the 1 mile mark slipped by. On the final stretch, the dust and noise faded away. Isaac and his horse were headed for victory. His timing had been perfect. Other ones followed. Suddenly, the horse owners all over the country wanted Isaac to ride for them. He began racing at tracks in New York, Michigan, and Missouri. No matter where he rode or what color silks he wore, Isaac kept on winning. And podcast will be Isaac became famous, but it didn't change who he was. He had rules for himself that were firm: no cheating, no fighting, no swearing. And he rode every race, large or small, as if it was the most important one of his life. And I will start part 2 later on today. I'll probably read the rest, but okay. By the spring of 1882, Isaac was very busy, but when he met a beautiful girl named Lucy, he still had time for love. They were married that year, and some of Isaac's friends wondered if he might quit racing. Jockeys were often away from home, and sometimes the job was dangerous. Lucy understood those things and supported Isaac's love of the track. In his first year as a married